Okay, we are back. Okay, and this is kind of like where we left off last time. Okay, and now what we need to do is go get some stuff. First things first, we've got all pretty much all set up. So get some documentation. Okay, so in Google I'm going to type in LFS-7.3 book, but I'm going to throw an index at the very end. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is there's a different few types of books that we can get. Okay, we can get a PDF, blah blah blah, HTML, tarball, and everything else like that. But I want to get the no chunks book. Okay, okay, because I want to be able to read it right from my terminal, right in front of me, instead of having to either switch windows, say back and forth, which would just not cool. Okay, you could, it's possible, but it I don't like doing it that way. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, and this is where the book's located. Okay, so we can be, let's say, Control A, Shift S. We can be up here reading, and we can be down here typing in, what we need to. Okay, right over top of each other. Now, like I said, it looks a little bland, and notice how it looks like everything kind of fades into the background here, and can get kind of monotonous when you're trying to read it. Okay, so keep that in mind for a second. And I just messed up. Control A, Control X, pop me out. I want to go full screen. I still have my stuff in the background. And let me say LFS 7.3 book, but I want to say index. Okay. So if I come here, I can read from online. Okay. Or better yet, while in links, I can just say D for download. Okay, and I can download this. Okay, and I can have this on my machine, so I can just read it. You can save it. Okay, you know, and blah blah blah. So that's a little benefit. PDF, you could most likely run. I don't see why you couldn't run a PDF inside of your screen session, but I don't know if you'd have to have no frame buffer, but it'd be kind of hard to. I'm just gonna use this, okay? So we'll say yes, I do want to exit links. By the way, to get up to this menu up top of here, you can hit escape. Okay, you get a little menu up there. Okay, so here we go. We have our links book here. You can see we have our LFS book. We'll say links with a Y on it. Okay, and notice the difference. Okay, notice the difference. This is why I use links as to read the stuff. And plus two, when we say stuff like this, see, not everything seems to blend into the background on us. Okay, we get some colors, we get some stuff that kind of pops out at us. Stuff like that. Okay, so it doesn't really become that hard to look through as we try to build this. Okay, like I said, we're gonna be here for a very long time, so let's not make it that hard. Let's not make it harder than we need to anyway. Okay, it's a good deal. So, I got a book here. Okay, I'm gonna separate all my LFS stuff. Let's separate that, and we'll say LFS stuff. It's gonna be a directory here. We can just keep stuff like packages and blah blah blah. So let's move LFS book into LFS stuff, and let's cd into LFS stuff. Okay, always a good idea to kind of stay a little organized. Okay, good deal. So let's pull up the book and see what it says. So say links, LFS. Okay. So here we are. Now with the book, I'm not really going to go too much into detail, like say for where target architectures, blah blah blah. I'm going to be building this for a 64-bit, okay, Intel single core, okay. I think this can be run on a 32-bit, but you'd have to read about that, okay. standards and all that stuff, rationale, packages in the book. I'm not going to go over any of that. Host system requirements, that's important. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about. And it says here that we need to have these type of packages and programs installed, and these are minimal versions, like 3.2 is a minimal version. Okay, and we can say Control A to go in the background, and we can type out something like bash version. Okay, so we'll see here that we have a bash version of 4.2.25. Okay, and over here it says that we need a minimal version of 3.2. Okay, and the same with all these other programs here. So instead of going ahead and typing out version blah 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 all the time, right, these guys are great, and they give you a little script here, and this is called a version checker. Okay, so we can go ahead and script all those out to check all those version source, so that we know we have the correct requirements in order to build this. Okay, okay, so let's say Control A. I want to get out of here and go into, let me see, desktop. Like I said before, I'm tab switching, that's why my screen will blur out, okay? Or right here, I'm hitting the down arrow, okay? My screen will blur out, so don't let that really bother you, okay? I'm going to be tab switching like a maniac, okay? And I would advise you to too, and I'll talk about that in a second, in a little bit, but it's very, very good to do that, because some things may not be where you think they should be, or some things may not be where the book tells you they are either, okay? But you'll run into that way down at the end of the install. Let's say, go into LFS stuff, and I want to make a little directory, and I want to call it build stuff. Build stuff. Stuff. Okay? CD into build stuff. And in here I can have, let's say, I can make something like logs or something like that. Okay? Like this build logs, like, you know, if I get any errors I can save the errors and, you know, research them or whatever like that. Okay? But here I'm going to type in version, I'm going to make version checker. Version checker. Okay? I could throw an SH to the end of it, but I'm not. It's okay. Okay? So I for input, and we'll go ahead and we'll copy out what they have over here. Okay? Like I said, it'd be kind of monotonous to type all this in off the bat. So let's just go ahead and we'll just copy out this script here. So you can copy with screen too. You can say Control A, escape, and you enter into a copy mode. Okay. Now, if you watch my cursor come up from the bottom there, okay, works kind of like one of the old DOS editors you go to where you want to begin to copy, and I'm going to say enter. Okay, and then you just drag out what you want to copy. Okay, and then when you're done, you can hit enter again. But let's go ahead and we'll say we'll drag all this out. Okay. That's as much as we can get on this page. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. That loads it into the buffer. You can see at the bottom here it says copied 680 characters into buffer. Control A, bring up the other where we were. Okay, and we want to say Control A, close bracket, and that will paste it. Okay, so I hit enter. When I say close bracket, I mean that right there at the bottom. Okay, so it's a good deal. So let me say write that, and I want to say Control A again to go to my other session, and let's scroll down one, and we'll get the rest of this script. Control A, escape, enter copy mode. Go to where we want to begin to copy, hit enter, okay, and we'll drag all this out. Not the EOF, we don't need that. And then we'll hit enter again to actually copy into the buffer. Control A. We'll hit Control A, close bracket. Okay? Alright. Good deal. So, oof, what happened here? Got a little chunk in the middle. Let me clean this up. You can delete quickly too by escape DD when you're in Vim and all that stuff. I think this is supposed to be else. Let me go back and check it. And it says, at the very bottom it says, then echo. And it says else echo, all not found. So we'll say, they say then echo, and we have else echo. So let's add this up here. Say else echo, command not found. I think that's it. Okay, good. Good deal. Alright, so now let's write, and we'll quit this. Okay. Now, in the book it says you can bash this and run it. Okay. But I'm going to say, I'm going to change mod it. No difference, really. No difference. Change mod, version checker.sh. Let me say sudo on it. Okay, good deal. So now, if we run it, it's going to go ahead and it's going to say, it's going to check. It's going to do that doable work for us. Okay, so that's a good deal. Now we can check and see if our operating system is actually up to standards that we need to run this LFS, to build the LFS. Alright, so let's say blah 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 blah, and a couple things may stick out right away, like command not found, make info not found. Okay, those things could stick out. Text info, stuff like that. Alright, so it's all over the screen. Let's take care of that. Let's sum it up so we can work on it. Let's say version checker. We'll pipe it through. Let's grep for command not found. We can say just command would work. And I'm going to put it into less. Okay, and right away we see we have 4 command not founds. Or those packages don't exist. Okay, and they are very vital, so we have to go get them. Okay, so let's say Control A, Shift S, Control A, Control Tab, down in the bottom pane, Control A, Control C, creates a new session, and I'm going to say exit it, which would, what is this? This is weird. Version checker. Why was I still open any of them? We can run our version checker down here, and let's say grep for command. Okay, we got that. That's cool. And we can hide this window by hitting Control A, Control C. Okay, we create a new session over top of it. Okay, and I want to run version checker from up here. A little backwards. My bad. Let's say cd into build stuff. Outrun version checker. And grep for command. Man. Still not right. Alright. So there we go. Okay, so now we can see that we need those packages, okay, and let's go get them. So let's say, we'll go sudo hard down here, okay, and we'll say aptitude search. We want to search for, the first one would be, let's say bison, okay, and this is the beauty in aptitude. Okay, we can say apt-get, alright, but this is the beauty in aptitude. So I'm going to run a 64, and I'm just going to get this bison here. This one looks like it's just specific to i386. I don't know if you're running the 60, or if you're running a 32-bit. I don't know if you want to pick that one or not, but it's up to you. But I'm going to get the bison, just bison flat. Okay? So down here I can say um, let's say aptitude install Bison. This does not take very long at all. Yes, I want to install it. Okay. And Bison's a C++ C thing. Something it is. It's a parser generator, I think. But I'm probably totally wrong. But I do know that we need it, so we have to get it. And now we can run up into the top pane. Okay. Let's say clear. And let's run our version checker again and grep for command. Now you can see that Bison disappeared. Right? Not only did Bison disappear, but so did Control A, escape, would allow me to. Copy mode also can allow you to, if you don't copy anything, you can go and scroll back. So Bison disappeared, and so did Georg. Okay? I think it was Georg. No, Georg didn't disappear. M4 disappeared. Okay? So we took care of two problems right there. Okay? So that's a good deal. So let's run it. We'll say next one we should get is Georg. So let's say sudo aptitude search for Georg first. Okay, and there's 3 packages here, and we will get regular Gawk. And yes. And then that will take care of another issue that we have. Okay? And there's one more. If that works successfully for us, which it should. There's one more that we have to get. Clear that up. And we'll run our version checker one more time. And it says here we have to search for make info. Okay? Good deal. So we'll say sudo aptitude and search for make info. Okay, and now's the problem, right? There's no make info around. Okay? Now let me go back up here and I'm gonna pull up my documentation. There's no make info around. But we need make info. Make's not the same as make info. Okay, but we need that. And if we run our version checker without grepping for anything and we type in less, this is what I found out first. And that, let's see, where is it? Down a little bit. Text info, next to text info, it's blank. Okay, and there's no version for text info. And according to the book, we need a text info version of minimal of 4.9. Okay, so that's where our make info comes into play. Okay, and that's where our search function comes into play too. Okay, so let's say aptitude search for text without the T info. Okay, and we see we have 3 packages here that we can choose from, and I just want to get regular text info. Text info. Or I search for it. How about install? Install would work just fine. So that's that. Let's say quit, clear. I don't have to say any yeses, do I? No, I should be okay. Text info 4.9. And let's go down here, we'll say clear. Bring up our other pane. And let's say .run now. Let's run our version checker. And we're going to grep for command. Okay, and that was fine. Got no problems on that. That's cool. And we'll say less, or pipe it through less. Okay, and now we're ready to go. You see here that awk is there, gawk is there, um, text info. Our text info version now is a 4.13. Control A, bring up the other window. It says here that we need a minimal of 4.9. Alright, great. Good deal, good deal. I would advise you to check these over very carefully, okay, on your own. I know this works because I like to do a few dry runs before I actually make a video, so I usually do about 4 or 5 installs, and with like 3 back-to-back successes. That way I'm not in the video just continuously blundering it. Okay, so, but I will tell you that this is good, okay? This is good. All except for this fact. Check this out. Bin sh to bin dash. Dash. Dash is not a syntactical error. It's not a misspelling. It's some funky thing. Okay? And if you go here, it says that bin 3.2 or bash 3.2, bin sh should be a symbolic link or hard link to bash, not dash. Okay? Why Ubuntu's doing that, I have no idea in the whole entire world. Right? Why they've done that, I have no idea in the world. 98% of Linux operating systems run bash. Why does Ubuntu want to be different? I don't understand. But you hear more about my Ubuntu rants. I got really burnt. Let's say ls can list lash bin sh. Okay? And yes, there is no typo, there is no lie. This is a direct link to dash. So in order for us to build anything, this is very, very important. Okay? So, now, I'm not going to kid you a little bit. I get confused on linking sometimes, okay? And some, I don't want to, this is probably wrong, but some operating systems, it seems like you link one way, it's like, some of them you see me link the other way, okay? Now, that's probably totally bogus, but I get really confused, and because I thought I knew what was going on a test installation, I linked bash to sh, but I did it the wrong way, and have you know, my operating system did not run, okay? So, I'm just going to go ahead and say, how to link sh to bash, okay, and have it that it's right here. It's great. The first one is exactly what we need. All right, it's not going to happen like that all the time, but there we are. What would Richard Stallman say? Good fortune or something? Just some good fortune. Somebody else is having this issue too. So, let's scroll down. And this guy says here, what is he saying? Linking bin bash to sh to bash instead of dash, blah 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 blah. I preferred bash over dash. Bash is a traditional Linux program and is on almost all Linux operating systems. Yeah, really. Okay. So the way that we would link this, he drops down into a TTY, and I guess he starts his at. I don't know what he's doing up there, but you can see here. We can begin to say, oh, I can't get any highlighted. That's okay. First, let's say sudo remove bookmarks. No. Remove. Control A, Control Tab puts me in the bottom. And I want to say remove. I like to use verbose, so I like to see stuff go away. Bin sh. Okay. Control A, Control Tab. And then we should say sudo sudo, or I am sudo, let's link, symbolic, verbose, I like to see my link, bin bash to bin sh. Okay, good deal. Then we'll list it out again. Let's say lash bin sh, right? And you see here that that is correct. Okay. Okay. Now he also goes on to how you can change that back to dash, and you would have to look at that more often, or on your own. So I'm gonna say quit that. That's good. Where am I at? Version checker less. Let's less it out, and we see up here that this checks out just as it says it should be up in the book. Okay? So that is very, very cool. Another link that we're supposed to have is awk should be a link to gawk, and we have that here too. Okay? And bison should be a user bin yak, or yet another C compiler. Okay? Or something that executes a small bison script. And if we look at yak, user bin yak is bison.yak. Okay? So that checks out too. That works. Even though Ubuntu's got stupid names for stupid stuff, right? It's just a little weird. Let's say eglibc. Where's that at? There's an eglibc up here somewhere that's just like, yeah, here it is. See, this is our GCC and glibc versions. Everything is eglibc and Ubuntu version. Blah, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's why I left Ubuntu, because it's like just a little different. But hey, it's okay. It's okay. So that's over. Control A, Control Tab. I can exit this here. Our versions check out just fine. Okay. Control A, Control Tab, and I could then say clear, exit. Okay. So listen, we just did some fundamental parts to our operating system. And it'd be a good idea to reboot after we do one more fundamental thing, okay? And that fundamental thing is, the book really doesn't talk about fdisking. It does, but, right, I'm lying to you. I think it does, but I skipped over top of it. But I need to do fdisk, okay? I need to go ahead and fdisk out, where I want my partition to be. And I have to be sudo soup. I always get my password. Isn't that funny? So let's say fdisk, and we'll just list out. Okay? Good deal. So I have a drive down here that I want to kind of resize, okay? I have 18 gigs over here for this install here. But what I like to do is, after I make a distro, or not make a distro, but after I make any of my LFSs, I always like to take them and clone them. Okay, so that way I still have an original, and then I can have one that I can play around on. Okay, but the play around one will never affect the original because it's a clone. Okay, so I like to keep them separate like that, because I would hate to have to keep rebuilding LFSs because I screwed something up. Okay, so I need to go ahead and I need to make an SDA8 partition, but I'm going to make it a different size. That way it's easier for me to clone. Okay? It works a little faster that way. And plus 2, I'm running out of hard drive space. So let's say fdisk dev SDA print, enter. We'll say P for print. Okay? In fdisk mode, I want to delete my SDA8 partition. Okay? Hit print. Notice it looks like it's going away, but if you write it, it'll actually go away. Okay, good deal. Now, let me say fdisk again, SDA, right? I want to create a new partition. Okay, so since I'm working inside of an extended wrapper, okay, I'm inside of my extended partition actually. This here says that it's using first sector is going to begin here to here. Default is say 434120. Okay, that's the default sector where it wants to begin. So if I look up here, I can notice that this is 434117. Okay, so actually this is going to push this one up as close as it wants to this to my last sector up here. Okay, so that's okay. I can accept that. Yes, do that fdisk. And now I have to specify the size. Okay, you don't have to count out blocks or anything else like that. I'm just going to put 10 gigs in. Okay, and I'm going to say enter. Right. I still got it, or I actually got it now. Okay, but it's not written yet. So write quit. Okay, and notice too, you'll get this error down here at the bottom sometimes. Say warning, rereading the partition table failed. Errors blah blah blah. Busy. I don't know. It said the kernel still used the old part table. New part table used that. Blah blah blah. Next reboot after you run. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's what we need to do. We have a partition, and we need to reboot our machine and keep going. So I'll see you later.